Welcome to Lucas Oil Stadium here in Indianapolis, Indiana, and another edition of the NFL 32. Today on this special Sunday night edition, we're going to get a matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Colts coming into this one are 1-1, meanwhile the Steelers are 2-0. We get a look at what should be the most impressive offense in the NFL, led by two amazing receivers, Reggie Wayne you see right there, Pierre Garçon you'll see later, and one of, if not the best quarterback in the NFL, you see him right there, number 18, Peyton Manning. A very smart quarterback, football smart, he can read defenses very well, he has a very strong arm, and he historically has been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL for years now. So let's get ready for the kickoff. Sean squeezed him out for the kickoff, and is going to to return is number 15, White. He's going to take it from the 2-yard line, looking for some blocking, but not able to get any, and he's dragged down at the 23. So out comes Peyton Manning here. You can see his numbers, 683 yards, not too bad for only 2 games, but has 4 interceptions to 5 touchdowns. He told us coming into the game that touchdown to interception ratio is not what he wants for this season at all. He needs to improve that going forward. 1st and 10 in the shotgun. It's a handoff to Adai, and he fumbled! On the first play, James Harrison picks it up. He is going to rumble his way for a touchdown. Right away, the Pittsburgh Steelers strike first. On what should have been just a simple draw, it looked like, got popped. Adai did, and you lose the fumble on you lose the ball on the first play. That puts your team in a very bad spot. The Steelers are already up 7-0 after just one play. Great play by number 92 there, but here we go again. Another chance for the Colts. This time Tyron's going to take it. He's going to take it from about the 1-yard line, maybe 2, looking for some blockers, and this time he's tackled at the 20-yard line. So let's see if they come out with another run. Adai is out here, but we doubt he'll get the ball. Manning back to throw. He's going to roll out to his left, looking for someone to throw. He's going to find Reggie Wayne out on the left side, out of bounds after a 20-yard gain that moves them to the 40-yard line. Manning is very good at extending plays like that and just finding open receivers. He's not a running quarterback by any means, as he goes down that time. Lawrence Timmons gets in the backfield right away. But yeah, he's not a running quarterback by any means, but Manning has good pocket presence. He's able to step up in the pocket, step around pressure in order to find open receivers, and he's very good at reading defenses. 2nd and 18, this one's just going to be a quick dump off to Reggie Wayne. Impressive catch, but only for 2 yards. And this is very surprising. This AFC situation going on in this division, AFC South. The Colts are in last place right now. That one was a dangerous pass, almost picked off. Harrison was in another play here. Manning looked like maybe he just didn't see him. He tried to float it over the defenders, but it didn't quite work. But this AFC South is very interesting this year. We expected the Texans to do well. We expected the Colts to do well, but so far they're last in their division. It depends on the final result on this game. But surprisingly, the Jaguars, they're 3-0, and is starting to think, are they actually going to be good this season? It's a question to ask. Ben Roethlisberger comes out here. He has more interceptions than touchdowns and only 447 yards, but this team isn't reliant on their pass game necessarily. They do use the pass to set up the run, and this is going to be a jet sweep handoff to Mike Wallace, but he's not going to go very far, tackled in the backfield by Dwight Freeney. But yeah, this team uses the pass to set up the run, but they are a running team, and they play defense very well. Hines Ward gets his first reception of the game, a 16-yard slant play, and that gets a first down. Nice pass from Ben Roethlisberger. 1st and 10 now at the 40-yard line. Roethlisberger in the shotgun. It's a fake handoff to Mendenhall. He's going to throw over the middle of the field, caught by Mike Wallace, who's hit down immediately right there, short of the first down. Let's take a look at the Steelers' offense now. Hines Ward, we already mentioned, and Mike Wallace, both really good receivers. Wallace, the more speedy threat. I can't forget about Rashawn Mendenhall, a very good running back who they use in a lot of short yardage situations like this. Gets the first down, just barely, but enough. He's a running back that seems to gain steam as the game goes along. He doesn't typically have a lot of huge first quarters. That time gets a little bit of a block. Nice blocking up there. Now let's look at the Colts defense. Probably the best combination of edge rushers in Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney to all-pro defensive ends. Second and inches is just going to be a fall forward run that time for Rashawn Mendenhall. Gets enough for the first down. Again, he doesn't necessarily run for the most yards in the NFL, but they use him in situations where he may be one of the more important running backs. First and 10, Roethlisberger's got a quick throw over to the left, but this is going to be incomplete and intended for the backup tight end Spaeth that time. It's going to bring up a second and 10. Roethlisberger back to throw yet again. He's going to throw over to the left. Caught by Mike Wallace, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Nice gain from the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are looking ahead of this game. It's not like the Colts defense is world beaters by any means. They're not the best group in the world. So as long as you can avoid those dangerous edge rushers, and Antoine Bethea is a good safety. But other than that, they don't have a lot of corner help. What was that? Walking in, touchdown Rashawn Mendenhall. The Pittsburgh Steelers are bringing it to the Indianapolis Colts right now. We didn't see this coming. The Colts were actually favored to win this game, but their defensive line, right as we were talking about how great they're supposed to be, they just got, all of them got destroyed coming off the line. Maybe they were expecting a pass there, but Rashawn Mendenhall helped lead his team that drive for a touchdown. 4 carries, 25 yards, and a touchdown. Again, not a lot of yards, but they used him in good situations. Tyron's going to take it from the 4-yard line, looking for some blocks. Going to cut to the left, and he's not able to get out of bounds or around any of the defenders as he's brought down at the 22. So let's see if this Colts offense can get into rhythm. So far, they've had 2 drives and just nothing happening. This is a handoff for Adai, his first carry, his first touch since the opening play that went for a fumble. We finally get a chance to look at the Colts offense here. As we were talking about, Reggie Wayne, amazing receiver. Pierre Garçon is a very good number 2, but he's not quite a number 1. Adai normally is a good running back, but so far today he just hasn't been able to get any lanes. Troy Polamalu in on that tackle on Reggie Wayne on that quick throw. First and 10 now. It's a handoff to Adai. Manning searching around, rolls to the left, and he's throwing one down the field, intended for Garçon, and he caught it! He caught it at the 9-yard line, tackled immediately, but man oh man, this Steelers secondary just got straight up mossed there. Peyton Manning, he has an arm, he stepped up in the pocket, has just enough time to get that pass off, and Garçon went over 2 defenders in order to bring that one in. So now all of a sudden you flip the field position, clock running out here in this first quarter, they're looking for a touchdown. It's going to be a check down to Adai who breaks 1 tackle, but not able to break the second tackle. And that's going to bring us to the end of this first quarter, a surprisingly dominant first quarter from the Steelers, and they're up 14-0. Here we go now, second quarter, Manning coming out. They're looking for a touchdown here to get back into this game, get the momentum turned around. It's a handoff to Adai, and he's not going anywhere. They're going to mark him for a gain of 1, but he was hit immediately when he got that ball. Third and goal now at the 2-yard line. Manning going to have an opportunity to throw. It's going to attempt to throw to what looked like Reggie Wayne that time, but not able to come up with a catch. Manning, there wasn't a lot open there, and he just tried to dump it off. Bad read, and that's going to bring up a field goal attempt, a 19-yard field goal attempt for one of the more accurate kickers in the NFL, and Adam Vinatieri. His kick is up, and it is good, and that at least gets the Colts on the board, 14-3, but they still have a lot of work to do, especially trying to stop the Steelers team. Emmanuel Sanders is going to actually take it out of his end zone, looking for some kind of blocking to return. He's not going to get very far, so his decision to return isn't going to really help, but it doesn't necessarily hurt. It's out to the 21. Steelers come out in shotgun now. This is something they do quite a bit. Roethlisberger looking for someone to throw. He's going to just throw underneath, caught by a up-and-coming receiver, Antonio Brown. He's a young receiver, but they are excited to see what he can do. The Colts aren't necessarily going to be guarding him very closely. Mendenhall gets some blocks, and he gets a first down out to the 35. Obviously, the Colts going into the game, they want to cover Hines Ward. He's even though he's older, he's still probably the number one on this team. Mike Wallace is getting really close. He's a very speedy guy, and this is already the second time they're trying to get him the ball in these types of situations, like on jet sweeps or just handing the ball off to him, but he hasn't gotten any room so far. 2nd and 10 is going to be a screen pass for Mendenhall, but he's not going to go very far. Just a 2-yard gain. Blocking didn't really shape up there. So 3rd and 8 now. 5 minutes left on this clock. Ben Roethlisberger is going down. Sacked by Tyron. Comes in off the edge. Nobody really blocked him. And Ben didn't really even have a chance to get the ball off. Probably didn't even see him. And he gets blindside hit there. So out comes the punter. We get to see the first punt of the game for the Steelers, and it's going to be a fair catch at the 26-yard line. So the Colts have an opportunity before half to cut into the lead and get right back into this football game, but they're going to have to move on this very tightly contested Pittsburgh Steelers defense, but that time you get your first catch from Austin Collie. He's a slot receiver that gets hurt quite a bit, so it's really hard to tell what his ceiling really is. Adai is just not getting any running room at all in this game. But like we said with Collie, he gets a lot of concussions, and the problem with him is if you're not available on this team, then they're going to find somewhere else to throw the ball, and it might even be to the defense. Manning has had a few passes like that could have been intercepted, but the Steelers aren't able to hang on to the ball. 3rd and 10 now. Manning out to throw. He gets hit as he throws, and pass is going to be incomplete. Another one that could have been intercepted, but I think that time it was more affected by the pressure than anything else. Just had to get that ball off, and it looked like it didn't have the zip that he wanted to. So out comes Pat McAfee, one of the punters with the strongest legs in the NFL, and he tries. That was almost a really good punt. Tyron got blocked there, trying to go down, but otherwise that would have been inside the 10, which is obviously great for field position. Mendenhall is going to get the carry on a draw. So far, 6 rushes for him, 42 yards. Not bad. 2nd and 3 now at the 27. It's going to be another handoff to Mendenhall in a big hole. And he's still going. Wow, what a run, but there is a flag on the play. Let's see what it is. It's going to be a holding call on Marquise Pouncey, the all-pro center, so that's upsetting news for them. That one, I don't know what was going on the Colts secondary. It looked like he should have been tackled way before he was. That one is incomplete. Ben was getting pressured from, I believe it was a corner coming off the edge. And he just kind of had to throw that one, and 90, good job getting his hand up. And no, it was not a corner, it was actually number 98, my bad, sorry about that. 3rd and 5 now in the shotgun. Roethlisberger's going to throw underneath, caught by Antoine Randall, but they're marking him short of that first down. Let's see if they take another look at this one, as we're going to here. He did get the reception, can't really tell on the field, but they're not going to challenge the play. So after the 2-minute warning here, the Colts are going to get the ball. White's signaling for a fair catch, but he's just going to let it drop as the Steelers down at the 22. So not a bad punt, but not within their own 10 or anything. Manning does have a long way to go here, but he does have 3 timeouts. It's going to be a short throw to Pierre Garçon, and they're going to go hurry up here. Haven't really seen a lot from Garçon other than that long play down the field. We're expecting to see more of that, but the problem is the Steelers secondary is very good at defending that type of stuff. Manning, and he looked like he was trying to go down the field that time, but he didn't have the opportunity to. Sacked. And now that brings up a 3rd and 10, and now you have to be careful because you don't want to give the Steelers the ball back. What a catch by Jacob Tamme, the backup tight end. Looks like he's trying to take some catches away from Dallas Clark. That was impressive to hold on to that ball. 1st and 10 at the 41. Manning under pressure again, and looks like he just panicked, saw the pressure. He was blocked, but maybe he didn't think so. It was going to be before he ended up throwing that ball. 2nd and 10 now. Manning dropping back. A deep drop, but he's just going to be a dump off to Reggie Wayne, and then they're going to go hurry up again. They did call a timeout earlier, but they're not calling one now. Maybe trying to get out of bounds here. You don't want to, run this clock more than you have to, but it is, you have to be careful when you use the timeouts. Manning is just going to step up and run with the football. Well, that's, man, you don't see Peyton Manning run with the ball basically ever. That was a nice heads-up play to at least get the first down, but you gotta wonder about his health here as he's getting hit a lot in this backfield, not only on that run, but he's been sacked quite a few times. And you don't want to see that from a star quarterback, especially one that's into his 30s here, as Peyton Manning is. 2nd and 19, it's a fake handoff to Adai. Peyton Manning rolling right, he's going to fire down the field, intended for Reggie Wayne, but the pass is incomplete. That one was just thrown a little too far. The corner even had a shot at that one. As you see, the 3rd down conversion so far, not great for the Indianapolis Colts so far in this game, and especially when you put yourself in a 3rd and 19 here, Manning, he has all day, and he could not find anyone down the field, and he's just sacked. If you look at this coverage, there was nowhere for him to throw the ball. Probably should have just thrown it away, but instead he takes the sack. Now the Steelers call a timeout in order for them to get the ball back here. And McAfee out to punt. It's a pretty good one, but Antonio Brown has a lot of space to return. And he's not... he breaks through one tackle. He's going to be tackled to 31. So, a pretty decent gain, about 10 yards on that return. 1st and 10 out to 31. Ben's looking for somewhere to go with this one. That one's incomplete. Looked like intended for maybe Antoine Randall there. So, if the Steelers get down the field here, they do have a timeout. There's not a lot of time. And Roethlisberger goes down. That's probably going to take an end, put an end to them trying to move down the field to get into field goal range. I figure at this point they'll probably just run off the clock and head into halftime, which is exactly what we're doing. And even though the offenses have been stifled here as of late, it's still surprising how much the Steelers have this one in the bag going into halftime. The Colts really need to do something on offense to turn the momentum in this game around. But heading into halftime, the Steelers are up 14-3. And now we get the second half underway. Nice kick from him. It's going to roll into the end zone, and looks like Emmanuel Sanders is just content to play it out at the 20-yard line. So, talking about the Steelers in the first half, the number one thing that they did well on that one drive that they got the touchdown was running the ball, and they're going to come out running right here. Rashard Mendenhall, 7 rushes for 53 yards. Very good average. There hasn't really been a lot of contested runs. This is going to be another run. It's a draw play for Mendenhall. That time ran into his own blocker. Otherwise, that could have been an even bigger gain. That brings us up a 2nd and 5 at the 35. Clock running now under 7 minutes. Roethlisberger is going to get his first opportunity to throw in the second half, and Mike Wallace gets the completion. You see, he has a good completion percentage, but not a lot of yards. That's because they haven't really had to throw the ball a whole lot. Their defense has been on the field quite a bit, making some plays. Roethlisberger over the middle. That one was a bad read. Looked like intended for Randall L. There didn't look like there was a lot of options down the field. Maybe that's where that play was intended to go. 2nd and 10, Roethlisberger changing some stuff at the line. It's a handoff to Mendenhall, who's met in the backfield immediately. Dropped, that's Robert Mathis, who got in on that play earlier that I said was a corner, and he wasn't. He also got a sack earlier on Roethlisberger. He's been all over the field today. He's taking a shot for Hines Ward on this 3rd and 12, but that one overthrown, incomplete, and they're not quite in field goal range, so that's going to bring up a punt. You never want to really be in this situation because it's kind of no man's land because your punt could roll into the end zone. This one looks like White's going to take it for some reason, and he's down at the 12. What a mistake from the punt returner of the Indianapolis Colts. If you let that one bounce, it's probably going to roll into the back of that end zone, and you get better field position than what you do here. Adai is going to get the first offensive snap. The ball is going to go to him for the second half. He didn't have a lot of opportunities in the first half, but that's because he fumbled on the very first play. Garcon goes up to get that one, and he comes down. It looks like he's hurt. He's holding his rib area. That's not good for the Colts. We'll keep an eye on that. That could be very dangerous as they're going to have to play Austin Collie a lot more here. On a 3rd and 2, they're just going to hand off to Joseph Adai, and he gets some space and a first down. 6 rushes for him, only 15 yards. Obviously not as impressive as Mendenhall's stats so far today. Coming off a play-action pass, Manning throwing down the field for Reggie Wayne, and another overthrow. Peyton Manning is really struggling on those deep passes today. He's only completed one, and that was to Garcon, who had to go up in double coverage to make the catch. 2nd and 10 now at the 28. A quick throw over to Reggie Wayne, who stumbles off of his catch trying to cut up the field, and he's just kind of thrown down to the ground there. So that brings up a 3rd and 2 at the 35. Let's see if they're going to hand it off to Adai here again. They do, and again, the Steelers' defensive line being able to be moved here. You don't want to give them lanes here because they will take it all the time. This Indianapolis Colts team, while they are a passing team, that one Austin Collie got wide open. But the Colts, they are a passing team, but they're not afraid to run, especially in short yardage situations. Manning isn't exactly known for his ability to run, so if a play breaks down, then Dallas Clark, oh man. Dallas Clark had a chance to turn that one up the field, and he just wasn't able to. He broke off one tackle, but not able to get up the field fast enough in order to make anything of it. Another handoff to Adai. Austin Collie with the block. And he's going to be down at about the 24-yard line. Adai starting to heat up here in the second half. You don't want to see that if you're the Steelers, because if you have both the run game and the pass game going on this team, they're darn near unstoppable. Manning over the middle, and that's why. When you have play action and it freezes the linebackers, you get wide open passing lanes, and when you have Reggie Wayne who can work the middle of the field, you're going to get the completion. And with Dallas Clark, a very good tight end, that time not going to get very much yardage, but he does move a little bit closer. That's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. And like we said, this team's heating up. Manning 5 completions in a row here, and the Steelers don't have that big of a lead. They tried to sneak it in with a die on a draw play. The good thing the Steelers defensive line was ready for that. 3rd and goal. This is going to be a spot where you're looking to pass here, and that one incomplete. Try to get to the back of the end zone. Garcon looked like the intended target. Maybe he ran a little too far. And what's this? They're going for it on 4th down. They're not going to take the points, and they're going to get some anyway. They said they weren't going to take the 3, and instead a fake to the fullback and a pitch out to Joseph Adai gets the touchdown. They're going to go for 2 here. And that one incomplete. Manning kind of threw that one in the direction to the right of number 15, but he just, it was covered very well by that time by the Steelers defense. And Emmanuel Sanders, not a bad return out to the 28. Sets the now if you're the Steelers, you have to be careful here. This Colts offense, with it heating up, you have to make sure that you don't allow them the ball back right away, and there you're going to get it to Rashawn Mendenhall, who takes you to the end of this 3rd quarter, with the Steelers still have a lead, but not quite as big, 14-9. Bringing up 2nd and inches now at the 38-yard line. First snap of the 4th quarter. It's a handoff to Mendenhall, and again, the Steelers defensive line having some problems in the run department so far. They've had a lot of pass rush and sacks in this game, but they've been struggling on the run defense side of it, as that one's just a quick throw over to Heath Miller. We expected to see more of Heath in this game. These Colts linebackers, if there's any real weakness on this defense, it is the linebacker department. Emmanuel Sanders wide open over the middle of the field. His first catch for 19 yards. He's been the return man of this team, but he's looking to try to find a role for him on this offense. Mendenhall on a shotgun run, which the Steelers don't like to do shotgun runs a whole lot because it doesn't work well with their blocking scheme, but that time they're able to catch them off guard. 2nd and 3 at the 15. They're trying to move down this field. Roethlisberger gets hit as he throws, caught by Mike Wallace. What blocking there? Holy crap. Man, this is why this Steelers team is a sneakily good run team, and they have the option to do what they just did here. And just a short dump off, just trying to get this 1st down, get the ball out of his hands. But look at the blocking from both Antoine Randall and Hines Ward to create that almost tunnel for Mike Wallace to run through. Amazing blocking there, and that's what you have to do. If you're a good running team, you have to make sure your wide receivers are willing to block. Hines Ward obviously is willing to block. Antoine Randall is someone who has struggled with that in the past. That's why they got rid of him a few years ago, and they brought him back now, and he's obviously bought into this sort of more aggressive style that the Steelers play with. And now you got the Colts, who were just starting to gain momentum, trying to get it back. That one's incomplete, intended for Reggie Wayne out to the left. And they've had some troubles. They can't really get much going underneath. They haven't been able to get anything going over the top as Lamar Woodley gets back there. I don't think anyone blocked him coming off that defensive line. Now you get they're 4 of 9 on third down conversion so far, not even 50%, not the best game. And when you keep putting yourselves in these third and longs, that's just gonna happen, and down Manning goes again. Lamar Woodley, back-to-back sacks. And this offensive line has really struggled. Manning, maybe that's why he hasn't been able to get focused on those deep balls, is because he's been under pressure all game, is trying to force it maybe too fast, and so a lot of them are either overthrown or underthrown. And McAfee, that's a good leg in order to get that field position, even though it's not, the Steelers still have good field position. It's not anything that could have been, like, they already are in field goal position. They still need to get at least 2 first downs in order to get there. That one, just a quick pass that was incomplete. Another handoff to Mendenhall, and that is going to bring up a 3rd and 1. Nice running from him. I thought it was going to be a 3rd and 2, but he's able to keep churning for an extra yard there. Roethlisberger trying to draw the defensive line offside. Now they're going to send Spaeth in motion, and a wide open first down, and Rashard Mendenhall stopped running. And, the Steelers are very well coached. They know in this situation, you don't want to give the ball to Peyton Manning. You want to run this clock. Roethlisberger is just going to step up and run, and he's going to slide to avoid getting tackled and also keep the clock rolling. Passing in this situation is dangerous because, they might know that you're going to run here. Mendenhall is just going to go down after getting that first down. But if you keep this clock running, Manning's not going to have another opportunity. And passing the ball, if it's incomplete, obviously the clock stops, and that's why, they're trying to keep this one on the ground, even though they're not the best, they've had success running the ball today, though. Mendenhall this time not going to get anywhere, but that does bring up the 2-minute warning here in this 4th quarter. So the Colts, if they're going to make something happen, they got to get a turnover right here. Fake handoff to Mendenhall, and Roethlisberger throws, caught by Heath Miller, again stops running, doesn't want to go out of bounds, and that forces the Colts to finally start calling their timeouts here. 1st and 10, they still can get a first down without getting a touchdown, but it's going to be close if they end up doing that. They have about 2 yards to work with here. After that run that didn't go for any yardage, they're going to hand it off again to Mendenhall. Again, not getting anywhere, so this is hurting his average yards per carry, but the team is, they're making the Colts burn those timeouts. Roethlisberger over, caught by Hines Ward, and instead of just getting that first down, they're going to actually add to their lead with a touchdown. I don't think that was necessarily the intended result of that play, but they're going to take it anyway. Now this game is really out of reach. The Colts are going to have to have a miracle here at the end of this game. Hines Ward on that drive, 2 receptions, 30 yards, and the touchdown. And now, with just 1:44, no timeouts, they're down by a lot. Tyron's just trying to make something happen. Their offense has just been so out of sync in this game. We're not really used to seeing that. Manning has had a lot of trouble with this defense, especially this defensive line. Man, that one could have been intercepted. There's a lot of passes in this game that, you look at it objectively and they could have been picked. Manning rolling out to the right, throwing, and that one's incomplete, intended for Jacob Tamme, who did have that one great reception earlier in the game that was right over the middle, that time not able to hang on through the pressure. 3rd and 10, Manning tried to get him to jump, but it didn't work, and now he's just taking a shot at, he had an open Reggie Wayne, but great play by the linebacker to come over, close, knock that ball down, and this game might be over. The Colts have not shown any life on the offense, and for the first time, really, since we started this NFL 32 broadcast, we get a blowout. We haven't seen this at all, and the Steelers just take a few knees here at the end of the game. We'll show you the last one, and that's gonna do it here for the Indianapolis Colts and this game. The Steelers come in underdogs on the road, and they come in and beat one of the better teams in the AFC, and that really goes to show you maybe we should pay attention to the Steelers team as a potential Super Bowl candidate. We thought going into the year the Colts would have a really good shot, but right now it looks like the Steelers are just playing better football. James Harrison didn't you know, he probably, with that forced fumble and that touchdown, he might have been one of the key reasons the Steelers got the momentum and kept it early on, because they got that early fumble, and the Colts offense just never really recovered from that. And obviously got the blocking here on that amazing touchdown that, you know, really did a lot to steal this one. So you all so much for watching this broadcast of the NFL 32. Zach Ballor signing off here. Hope you all enjoyed. Stick with us for week 4, and the Steelers beat the Colts 28-9. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Like I said, you know, this is really the first time that I, you know, in one of the games I've played at least, that it wasn't even close. I don't know what's going on. I was really excited for this one because I thought it would be a shootout. You know, you get one of the two, you know, best offenses around this time in the NFL, but I guess I failed to keep into mind that the Steelers had a really, really good defense. And, you know, Manning, you didn't even get any 200-yard passers in this one, let alone 3. But Mendenhall had a really good game rushing, and the Colts just couldn't get anything going. So I'm really impressed with the Steelers. You know, they've done really well in the simulation, and now playing with them, you know, their defense is quite stifling. You know, they really could make some noise in this AFC playoffs. If we take a look at the defense here, I didn't know actually that the one that forced the fumble was James Harrison. I was surprised that he both forced it and got the touchdown. But, you know, great play from him, great game from him in general. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Next week next video will be a week 4 matchup. Not quite sure who yet, but I guess we'll figure it out. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.